All right, welcome to this Wisdom Wednesday. Today we're going to talk about what I call the two connector questions. These are two questions that can help you to really know the people that are in your life on a much deeper, much higher level if you get these two questions right. Now, I first learned about these two questions from a guy who built a pretty big organization, and he actually uses these two connector questions. He says, if you really know these two things about people, you can really connect with them. You know what drives them, you know what motivates them, you know what makes them tick, and allows you to connect on a much better level. Now, he uses these in a business setting, but he also uses these with his kids, around the table at dinner time, going around and connecting with his spouse and his kids at dinner time and trying to get a better feel of what's going on in his family's life as well. So what are the two questions? Question number one is, what is new and exciting in that person's life? What gets them excited? What gets them motivated? What gets them, their juices flowing, so to speak? What are the things in their life that do that for them? That's question number one. What's new? What's exciting? What gets your juices flowing? What gets you motivated and passionate about something? That's number one. Question number two is, what pushes your buttons? What are the things that make you angry, frustrated, ticked off, pissed off? What pushes your buttons? He said, if you know those two things about people, what are they frustrated about? What are they stressed about? Sometimes they use the phrase, what do they need to pray about? If you know those two things, what's new and exciting, what's going on that's new and exciting in their life, and what are they frustrated about? What are they worried about? What's pushing their buttons in their life? Those two things, you can get to know people much more effectively. And you can find even in coaching, for example, that those two questions can open up all kinds of conversation just based on those two questions, because you know what's going on in people's life. What are they working on that's new? What's exciting in their life? And what's frustrating them in their life? So like I said, he uses these questions, he uses them in business settings, but he also uses them, to get to know people in any way, shape, or form. You can get to know people better when you know these two questions. And he uses them at dinner time with his family. They go around the table, what's something new, something you're excited about, something you need to pray for. They go around the table. But one of the other big uses of these questions is with your spouse. So here's something that I've found to be true, is that these questions are a balancing pair. One is a male question, one is a female question. So I'm going to take a shot here. I found this to be true when I've done some coaching with people, is that the husband's natural tendency, the male's natural tendency in a relationship, is he naturally wants to share all the things that are new, all the things that he's excited about, all the new things that are going on. That's his natural tendency. The wife's natural tendency, women's natural tendency, is to want to share all the things that they are frustrated with, the things that are pushing their buttons. They want to vent and share those things. Okay. Now here's what I found to be true. If a man goes in to a setting with his wife, and he shares all the things that are new and exciting and getting him motivated about those things, his wife doesn't typically want to hear them. Okay? And the same is true on the other side. In a marriage, when a woman goes in and she shares all the things, she begins to vent and share all of her frustrations and worries and all these types of things, typically the man shuts down. He doesn't want to listen to them. This is a natural tendency. This is what I found to be true. So the natural tendency, the husband or whoever, they walk into the door and they greet each other. The husband's natural tendency is to want to share the things that are new and exciting. The wife's tendency is to want to vent and share the things that are pushing her buttons and are frustrating her. And the natural tendency is neither one of them wants to listen to that. So you can actually flip this, okay? If you are in the husband role, okay, you can go in and you can share the things that you're frustrated with, the things that you need prayer for, okay? And the wife, you can go in and you can share all the things that you are excited about, new things you're doing, all the new things that are going on, and now all of a sudden your spouse will engage in conversation on a much deeper level. Now you can also use this in a business setting. So if you are a leader of a business, okay, so I want you to imagine you're the boss or you have a team that you're managing, and you walk in and your people greet you with all of the problems and frustrations and these types of things. They hit you right with those things right when you walk in the door. That's not typically what most people want to hear from the team right when they walk in the door, okay? The boss's dream in most situations is you want to walk in and they're telling you all the new things they're working on, all the new things that they're doing, the things that they're excited about and motivated about, and you're getting hit with those things. Now, on the flip side of that, your team, if you have a team of people that you're leading, wants to know your concerns, wants to know your frustrations, wants to know what you're going through, and they don't want to hear as much about all the new things that you're trying to do. Now, you can get to those things, but you need to realize that this is a balancing pair in a conversation. It allows you to get to know people much more effectively, because as the boss, let's say, your natural tendency is to want to go in and share. You're always looking at where you're going. You want to go in and share all the new things, all the exciting things. You need to share some of those concerns and frustrations, which will open the people up. So remember, life is about balance. When you share your frustrations on one side, people will typically want to share more what's new and exciting and what they're working on the other side. So we can create a balancing pair just with these two connector questions. These two questions are extremely powerful if we learn how to use them effectively, but I want to share that with you this week. Hopefully it helps to get to know the people in your life a little bit better.